someone? Welcome all to today's Dashcam Diary of a Disabled. Today's topic of discussion is more rock hounding. I really do want us to do more of a rock hounding series about what it takes to prepare for a day trip versus like a overnight trip. I really had to start looking at locations and figuring out which one I can afford in gas was potentially. At this point, I really don't got any money left over. I need to finish paying my bills. I had to like negotiate my brain like how many more co-pays I need to pay this month. I need to get into the VA and get my picture taken. I got a new picture taken at my doctor's clinic that I regularly go to. It wasn't when I got to my primary care room. It was when I went to my internal medicine doctor who's just managing my pain basically. It's crazy having like 3 different doctors. So like one like sends all the referrals out and like gets me to who I need to see, you know, or if it's something he can help me with, he'll treat me for my primary. And then I got my internal medicine doctor, which he will not treat anything internally except for my pain for me. Which I kind of think that sucks, man. Like I wish I could have like an internal medicine doctor help me with other things to discuss internal medicine. Like, I want to learn from the man, and I am learning little by little, but it's like I'm pulling teeth for the information. Like, I can't wait to get more of a rapport with him. He says he doesn't need to see me for a couple months, but I'm going to try and see him every month still. Like, he told me I'm supposed to see him every month until I get to a point that I can see him every few months or whatever, but like he really just he wants to see me for my pain, get me in, get me out, do the thing, get it over with. I'm gonna win this doctor's heart over, darn it. I'm gonna kill him with the most kindness that I can. I'll also still argue and like gain information from him because I'm that kind of person. I'm like, I just want to know. Answer this question, damn it. He really helped me further because there's a girl that's been reaching out for help, and she reached out again. I didn't have answers at the time because I think I was at my other friend's house last night when she messaged, or I was like at home just like really trying to unwind and get ready for the day, or get ready for the night, wind down. I didn't even get my gaming in like I wanted to. Like, I'm also still trying to figure out how to justify getting my dog shampoo, and she really needs a bath. She really needs one. I may just bum me money from my mom and be like, Mom, you just hook me up with the money for this. I need to pay my bills, and I'm slowly getting them paid. I finally just got my reimbursement from my wrongful early payment of my bill that was required. I hate to see what the minimum payment is this month because they had to reverse my payment. Well, I got my payment check in the mail, and I'm gonna go to take care of that today at the bank and deposit that. I think I'm going to be taking my mom off my account, and I think I need to do that first. I may do that from the parking lot of my chiro. I'm headed to my chiro right now to get my adjustment. My back is really out. It is. Ooh, I did a twisting motion last night right above my SI joint. Like, oh man, that threw everything off down there because it made it extremely hard to stay asleep last night. I was finally getting some quality sleep after I took my Xanax, and I didn't take my Xanax until like after a couple hours of just like not getting good sleep. I was just like, can I just get some sleep here, doctor's trust, and if it means I have to put my body through some BS, and because of it, I just have to do that. It's sad that I can't get the appropriate dosage because I don't have the length and time and the rapport with the doctor yet, and my body just absorbs things too fast and too much. That's just it just doesn't last in my body. It doesn't last at all. Even this time release stuff. It's going to be interesting to see how much is in my system when I get my next drug test back. Because my next drug test is only taking like my Xanax and I haven't even had any of that in my system, I don't think. Yeah, no, I have. I got that immediately when I got back. But it's really going to show me how much, because that was the only presumptive positive that he put on the paperwork this week for my drug test. I mean, he didn't even tell me I was doing a drug test before he left the office. Like, he was in such a hurry because I threw him off with my freaking question, and he really didn't want to give me the info. Like, he has his own narrative, and I understand, and I don't hold it against him. Like, it's a weird feeling to have. It's like, it's a good but like apprehensive feeling. Like, I trust the guy, but man, can you can you give me a little bit more here, please? Like, he's straight to the point, and he does the job, and I think he does his job well. He really could work on his bedside manner, honestly. Like, I can see why my mom, like, might not have had the best taste in her mouth from seeing him once. I can see why. But I'm happy to be learning from the man, little by little. He's all about the thyroid, and he really thinks that Dr. Lee's on the right path of sending me to endocrinology. Like, I've done this path before, though, gentlemen. I've done this path before, and I hate to just keep proving them wrong, and like, I'm not trying to like go against the grain, but like, I know it's an important organ and system of the body. Like, I get what they're saying, but I feel like they put way too much emphasis on that, and they don't. They're used to treating regular people. Like, I told him my theory about the tattoo and the pain patch, and he's just like, that is so far-fetched. I'm like, I'm gonna convince this man, though. I'm gonna slowly convince him and make him a believer in how weird EDS is, and he needs to learn more about EDS and how it is very different from treating a regular person. Like, he's blown away by some of the test results that I had before, because I should have had them in my system, but they weren't. So I want him to understand how weird having EDS is, and why I swear to G, I am going to start identifying as an alien officially on paperwork. I'm going to go with this trend of the alphabet soup, and I'm going to start like demanding to be identified as an alien, like serially, because things don't respond the same in my body that respond in other people, and doctors are just so set in their mindset of, you hear hoof beats, so you expect a horse to walk around that corner because you hear hoofs. Well, what turns around that corner is a zebra, which is me. I'm a zebra. I look like a horse and sound like a horse, but I am not a horse. There's some variations in my genes that are so mutated that things are just wonky, dude. Things are wonky inside my body. And I am here to show the world and prove to these doctors in Western medicine that this is after a while, like, this is why I didn't work with the VA doctors. I fight tooth and nail and advocate for myself. And usually the VA, they're so handcuffed in their policies that they refuse to work with the veteran at some point. They get tired of the veteran fighting back. They're used to their veterans being the older generation veterans that aren't as knowledge savvy about things. And I grew up in the age of technology. As technology advanced and began, I was in forums and chat groups on AOL. I was on dial-up. I was on forever to get on that, tying up the phone line, to the point where when I was working in high school at the age of 15, 16, I worked at Dunkin' Donuts at the age of 15 for a while. I had a workers permit. I had the appropriate signatures, and everybody's like, okay, you can work. I don't see why child labor is so bad. Like, seriously, it does teach a child some work ethic as a teenager. And I just don't see that too many teenagers working the freaking service jobs earlier in life. I think it should be way more advocated for. Like, more blue-collar work especially. Like, we need those kind of people, man. And I feel like that these types of jobs are dying out for some reason. And these kids don't know where to go because technology is just so fast. And, you know, if you're not in the world of medicine or technology, I mean, you're going to get left behind. And a lot of these professions and blue-collar people are boomers. They're retired, man. Or they're getting into politics where they don't need to be. My generation needs to step up. But we're so sick and we're so tired. And Generation X is just... And I'm like on the cusp. I'm at the very end of Gen X, the very last year. I'm more of a Zennial. I hate the word millennial. I freaking despise millennials and their entitlements. But that's the boomer in me from my boomer generation parents. It's generational. What can I say? I have a work ethic because I was made to work when I was younger. And I don't think it's a bad thing. I really don't. I mean, and I think they should get paid a good wage though for it though as well. So I am all for wages, but like the higher the wage goes, the smaller the wage gap, the higher the freaking prices of everything else go up. It's ridiculous, the inflation. But hopefully with cryptocurrency and like other things on like the edge for years, we'll see where things turn. I thought that was great with the GameStop stock when they were about to go bankruptcy, and the Reddit and the online nerds all ganged up together to be like, get the stock, get the stock, get the GameStop. I did not want to see GameStop go away. I mean, that was my generation's thing, man. We grew up gaming with the different gaming consoles. Whether my generation does it now or not, you know, it's not here nor there. It's the disabled people, the people that worked their butts off and now are disabled at a younger age like me, or disabled born jacked up like I was and didn't know it, and, you know, led my life as hard as I could. I've had a great life though. I don't regret any of it. I've learned everything for a reason, and I'm passing my inspiration and knowledge along to you all the best that I can. You know, I have many opinions. I can talk for days about all kinds of things, but yeah, where society is now, it's strange. You know, I'm an 80s baby. Like, I was born in 1980. I'm starting to feel old having to say my birthday when I go to doctor appointments. I almost absolutely always refuse to put my social if it's really not needed. Some doctor's offices want your social, and I think that's kind of weird. I think that's odd. Why do they need that? They don't need to look into anything. Financial wise. I think that some of them did it previously before a lot of the Obamacare and the socialized, healthcare that we've tried to get in our country, which it really is not the way, people. You're starting to see that now. Our health system is overcrowded, overbooked, and these doctors are overworked and overburdened, and they don't have time to really treat the patients, and now all their guidelines, and it's so government stamped that there's so many things that insurance will not even cover. Everybody get on insurance. Yeah. Everybody get doctors. Yeah. No. These doctors can't get a half hour to ask the right questions to diagnose correctly. So now there's all these misdiagnosed people running around out there getting medication that they don't need to be taking, poisoning their bodies, and then they're ending up worse with more problems later on. And the more vaccines they take, and the more they pump full into their body to mutate their genes and their autoimmune systems, what the F is this experimental drug? Unless you're really willing and want to try it, I mean, you go for it. I was all for it myself until I got sick and got all these problems, and the only thing I can lead it back to is my anthrax vaccines and all the smallpox and all the other vaccines that the Navy pumped into me. My body is so overwhelmed from medication my entire life. I'm overdone. They always warned as a child, in the doctor's offices, don't take antibiotics unless you absolutely have to. I grew up on antibiotics. I took them, and now I can't take them at all. I'm allergic to them. My body is just it blisters up, and it can't process it. It doesn't recognize it. It recognizes it as a foreign thing. So instead of healing, it's eating away and degenerating me. My whole body's degenerating way faster than it needs to be. I got disabled at the age of 28 because of all these vaccines and all these things that got pumped into me, and the hardcore running and stuff. What battle anymore am I going to need to run off my ship? And at shore duty, there ain't any reason for me to be running. Running, and there's so many knee problems in military members. Almost every military member I know that's gotten out of the military or on ships a lot in their career have the worst knees in the world because of those ladder wells and stairs having to go almost straight up and down. Thanks to my hypermobility, I did get some knee pain towards the end of my career after 9 years as I was going through my medical discharge. I do have loose ligaments in my kneecap on the right side, and more so in particular because I have right hip bursitis and labral tears and all kinds of malformations degenerating in the wrong way. Who knows what it looks like now after all the cortisone shots that helps break the tissues away and break them down further. Because they don't like to do surgery until it's completely gone. So they're let's speed up the process in somebody with a connective tissue disease, and let's eat away at it faster and make things worse. Because that's what it does. That's what steroids do when you inject it directly into the joint. It eats away at the tissue after it fills it up and gives it cushion for a little while, and then it just eats away everything else. And then it breaks it down faster. So the more you know. Cortisone is very bad, and cortisone shots are horrible for EDSers because of our connective tissue issues. We degenerate faster, quicker, and if we're harder on our body throughout our lives, depending on how we run our lives, whether we get into athletics or not, which are really, really bad on you, no matter what athletic sport you get into, it will break you down a lot faster, and it will disable you at a younger age in life. I can attest to that. And at least diagnosed, I have medical care for the rest of my life, but it's crappy medical care that doesn't treat me right. But it does treat me right when I know how to use it. So I'm going to learn how to use it again because it's ever changing with politics, and that's the way life goes. Love y'all. Peace out.